Hey, how you feeling? John Riggs here. Just got back from the Seattle Retro Gaming Expo 2018. I have a lot of love for SRGE. It was the first ever video game convention I ever attended when I moved back to the Northwest. Good to see, you know, old friends, make some new friends too. Thank you for anybody who stopped by and said, like, oh, hey, you're that one guy. I recognize your channel or whatever. It always blows my mind each and every time, even today, even at a video game convention, which I know I'd be there anyway, you know. So, it's always cool to meet new people. Of course, people who stop by, they're like, hey, you have any of those business cards? I do. When I attend conventions, my rigged one-up cards could be yours. These are free. These are free when you see me, anyway. But thank you, and a big thanks to Nate and Rob and Dave and all the volunteers as well. Gotta have those volunteers. Conventions, I mean, the volunteers are the backbone of any convention or event, so thank you if you volunteered as well. Really, really appreciate that. I have a few pickups I want to show you, and I'll let you know which conventions I'm going to next. So if you missed me in Seattle, I'm going to be traveling across the Northwest for the first time. I'm flying out to 4 different conventions by the end of the year. That is probably too much for me, who has a full-time job, who has children. But I was just accepting offers as they came up. Say, hey, you want to check out my convention? Sure. You want to check out my convention? Of course, I'd love to. So next year, I may not fly out to so many. However, I'm happy to take advantage of it. Take advantage of it, the right word? Kind of is, but, you know, I'm happy to be there too, because, hey, it gives me a reason to spread these out a little bit more. And I'm going to be bringing some games when I show up at conventions, my t-shirts as well. Before I get into the pickups, talk about new cereal coming out. While we were in Seattle, we don't have a Whole Foods in our area. And this comes in a cereal box, so I'll counter this cereal. Lemon Lavender Granola? Curious to try it out. Also, my daughter Lily loves this show. She used to watch it all the time. Doesn't watch it as much anymore, but I still catch her watching it sometimes. And I didn't know that Wild Kratts has their own cereal. They have 4 different varieties. I bought a couple of them. Had to check out the PB&J discs. And this one is the one that everyone's talking about. There is a banana split variety as well. Dippin' Dots has a new cereal too, so looking for. I mean, it's still sealed. I haven't even tried it yet, so I don't know how good it is. We'll see. All right. Okay. Not as many pickups at the Seattle Retro Gaming Expo, but I will show you what I picked up. Worked out a trade for this guy, Gyromite. Why Gyromite? Because it has the adapter. Now, they make low-rise adapters now. I used to have to, and I hate to admit this, I used to have to find these when I could, just to cannibalize them for their adapters, so I could put Famicom games in there, so it would play on a US system. And you don't have to do that anymore. That's the good news. You don't have to do that anymore. However, in doing that a few times, I don't have any of these left for myself, so just have a piece of history. If you're not familiar, the summarized story is they had a few black box games that they couldn't release in time for Christmas of whatever year. So inside this is the Famicom game, but then through a converter, so it plays on a US card. Instead of just making the US game, they just did that, which is why it's like, you know, it's Gyromite, but you pop it in and it says Gyro, you know, Robo Gyro. You're like, what? It's kind of crazy. It's actually not even a retro game, but it's a game that was cheap, and I'm looking forward to playing it. I never had a chance to play Wolfenstein 2 for the PlayStation 4, so it was available. Like I said, it was there, it was cheap, I had the money on me. I want to play this, getting myself ready for the new one that comes out. You know, punching Nazis in the face, gotta love that. My Jewish ancestors will love that, so looking forward to that too. My buddy Chris hooked me up with hooked me up. I still, you know, I'm a paying customer here. Gave me a great deal on Freaky Flyers for the GameCube. Always looking out for new GameCube games now that I have that adapter. Looks cool. I mean, I've heard it described as kind of like a cel-shaded, like a Crimson Skies or something. But I remember Drunken Master Paul picked this up in the pickup video for last year's Portland Retro Gaming Expo, but he got it like on the Xbox, and I found it for the GameCube, so happy about that. Buzz Games is a wonderful store in the Northwest. They do imports, and of course I love imports. They had a great deal on Kid Dracula, so awesome to have Kid Dracula for the Famicom. I have it on like multi-carts and stuff, but not just by its own game, so grab that. And then this was one of those where I was like, I've never seen this, I've never heard of it. It's on a Jalico board, so I can't just make repros, and most of the Famicom games I know, I look up because of repro purposes. So it's called Yokai Club, not Yokai Watch. It has nothing to do with Yokai Watch, but I mean, Yokai probably means spirit, I'm guessing, I don't know. But Yokai Club. And it just looking up gameplay footage, it looked pretty cool, so my buddy Jeremy was like, well, I guess you bought it. And I said, yeah, I guess I did. So, thank you for those. Speaking of Jeremy, as I was leaving, I didn't realize this until I got home. I thought it was my friend Joe's when I got there, because I dropped him off first, and he was like, no, that was yours. Jeremy dropped it off and put it in your box of stuff, so he left this for me for the 360. Alright, dude. Well, thanks. Thanks all the same. That's cool. And my favorite pickup, I mean, these are all good, and Kid Dracula's cool and everything, but I've always wanted to have one of these, and now I need to find some games for it. I understand, because the card slot is an SD slot, there is a way that you can play just ROMs through it with like a exploit or something, but grabbed the Gizmondo. Whoa, look at that. We'll go double deep here. I got the Gizmondo. If you're not familiar with the Gizmondo, do some research. A quick Google search will tell you that this thing has ties to the Swedish Mafia. There's like a Ferrari crash, and it's just a crazy, crazy system. They only made like 12 games for it or something like that. The #1 game available, the #1, most popular game is a game called Sticky Balls, ages 3 and up. But there's no games with it, but I'm happy to have this. And if you're wondering, the rubber grip and the rubber grip is still nice and firm. I guess this gets pretty squishy after a while. It's kind of like the same material as like kind of like the analog stick to like a PlayStation or something. But still nice and clean on that one. So we'll worked out a trade, but it's not a trade yet. He was just like, well, we'll work out a trade later. I didn't, what I brought was like, he's already seen my stuff. So we'll grab something for that later. That's all I picked up for the Seattle Retro Gaming Expo. Always cool to see everyone. Always cool to see the great deals and stuff. And if you want to see me at a convention digging through your piles of stuff, the next convention is going to be in August. First Saturday in August, Missouri Game Con. Use the promo code RIGGS to save some cash on your tickets. The weekend after that, August 11th, 12th, and 13th, will be Game On Expo in Phoenix, Arizona. Looking forward to seeing you there. Then from there, looking forward to the Retro Game Con. I've announced that before. Retro Game Con happening in Syracuse, New York, first weekend in November. It's like November 3rd or 4th, something like that. I'll be there for that too. Looking forward to seeing you there. And they haven't officially announced it yet, but I will announce it in this video for the first time ever that coming up in mid-September, I will be at a video game con in New Jersey, in like North New Jersey, Secaucus or something like that. I'm not familiar with the town names in New Jersey as much on the East Coast as I am, with our native names here in the West Coast. But I'm going to be at a video game con coming up mid-September. It's like, I guess it's, 30 miles away from New York City, and I've never been to New York City, so looking forward to seeing you there too. And I'm going to be bringing a whole bunch of these. If you want to swing on by and say hello to me, I'm going to have one of these for you. And I'll bring a few games, not a lot, but I'll bring some games and I'll bring some shirts too. So, and I'll bring me and my charming personality. I don't know. how about this? I'll bring me, you bring you at a convention near you. And of course, coming up in October, it's already booked, man. The Portland Retro Gaming Expo. If you're going to attend any game convention in the year, any of them, if you're going to fly to anywhere, the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, the one to be at, it's going to happen mid-October, 3 days, super awesome, and I'll actually be sharing a booth with a few people at that one, so I'll look forward to seeing you there too. And in the meantime, I take care with yourself, and I will finish cooking. I figured I'd do this quick video anyway, because I'm cooking, and it's in the oven, so it's probably ready by now. Thank you, and take care, and we'll see ya, and you're awesome. Know that.